Hi, fabulous Gemini. This is Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for your September 2017 Soul Tarot reading. I'm very excited to be back, and I want to start actually by thanking you and expressing my gratitude once again for the amazing journey that you, as spirit beings, soul journey, whatever words you want to put on it, that you've clearly committed to in this incarnation. And the reading last month was incredibly deep and just so beautiful. I have a couple of housekeeping announcements and then I'm going to jump right in because I'm already getting some channeled information. Spirit wanted me to put this down. This is the beautiful Celtic Wisdom Tarot deck that I use for this channel, and it just vibrates in a way that is perfectly symbiotic, Spirit saying in the background. Given my individual set point as a clairvoyant person. And it has to do, I believe, with my heritage and some other things. I'm a storyteller. So these cards work just so nicely, Spirit saying. So Spirit wanted to start off with that and give you a few minutes to gaze into that image and remember last month's reading while I do the housekeeping tasks that need to be done for the channel. If you haven't seen that reading, there's a suggestion to pause this and go look, because we're going to be doing some review, and the story from last month, actually for the entire year, continues. So, back to channel news. First off, if you're looking for information about how to get a reading or any kind of a psychic consultation, I'm going to start widening, now that I'm sort of almost have my arms around YouTube, I'm going to start widening the things that I offer. I will make an announcement video about that. You can always find all that information by scrolling down below the video to the Show More tab. It's not highlighted in blue, but it's actually a tab, and when you click on it, there's a giant information box. Everything you need. Links to be in touch with me, my email address, my PayPal site, all the information about the different kinds of readings, the live streaming that's going to start hopefully soon. It's all right there. Secondly, I am committed. I've made a commitment to start doing some live stream. And Spirit keeps using the word webcast. I'm not enough of a techie. I think that those two things might be a little bit different, but nonetheless, there's some exploring going on in the background here. Those things are going to be starting hopefully soon. As it turns out, my computer is so old it won't support that activity. So I'm in the process of manifesting a new computer, and I'm asking everyone to join me. One of the things actually we're going to be talking about in the live stream is the whole notion of manifesting and how do we create what it is that brings us joy, Spirit says. So right now what's going to bring me some joy is a new computer so I can continue this channel. My sweet old dear of a computer is actually dying, and I am asking for your help so that I can purchase this computer hopefully before I go to Ireland on the 16th of September, because I'd like to do some recording from the sacred sites in Ireland while I am there. So I've decided to do the live stream as a subscription service. I've made it really inexpensive in the hope that everyone will be able to afford it. It's $35 for a full year of unlimited access. I have a lot of ideas. I'll talk about that in a separate video. So what I've realized is, I'm asking you for help. Anyone who is able and wants to make a donation, I'll be very grateful. If you make a donation of $35 or more, I will gift you back with an annual subscription to the live stream. So hopefully it's a give and give, Spirit says, situation. It makes me feel a little bit better about asking. So I'm grateful to Spirit for the way that this has evolved. last bit, just a reminder, if you are in Ireland and you want a private reading, you have until the end of the first week of September to contact me and make a reservation. And after that, the reservations will be closed because I need to make the schedule and figure out my travel itinerary. So let's jump in. Last month, as you were preparing to go into the days of the portal, Spirit says, Spirit was, hang on, there's some channeled information coming through. Spirit says, your vibration was being used in order to deepen the pathway that all will pass through. And if you recall that reading, this was the outcome, actually. This image, this card. This is the Sacred Alchemist, who was here last month, helping you understand the type of travel that you were doing. And the phrases that were coming through were, mingling your energy, your spiritual energy, with the galaxy, literally with the universe, in order to turn the tide of the interpretation of spiritual energy. It's so interesting. There's so many words coming through. Spirit is basically saying, you are of the stars, and you were being asked and notified that you were traveling deep, very deeply out into the universe, as a result of having made the commitment to be here, incarnate on the earth during the time of these portals opening and this eclipse. And actually, Spirit's saying it's not just during this time. It was a choice to come here to experience this and to offer your assistance from this place, right? Spirit says this place, you are the vessel for this alchemical moment that adds something very important to all the other energy that is being created by the other astrological signs. There's something very important about this, and Spirit wants to continue to talk with you about it. So, let's just go forward from there. Having gone through that portal, on a sacred impulse, in order to connect very deeply with the Queen of Knowledge on this quest. You were here. There was this impulse, the warrior. I call the warrior of impulse, who waits for a sacred impulse to enliven him, and he jumps on his horse and rides straight into it. And the place you were riding into was the quest of knowledge, standing in front of, and Spirit saying, being able to see through your human existence the reality of the source. And having done that, being met by the Queen of Knowledge, who was awaiting you in order to weave your energy into the tapestry of what was happening. And this was a very deep soul journey. And the guardian, the high priestess, the guardian of the gateway, was here to meet you as the bridge card, to help you move across into your spirit journey. And it was a journey about ascension and coming to rest with the Sacred Alchemist, who was going to take the energy, the mind of the universe that you were embodying here as you went through the portal, and work her alchemical magic. So, clearly, you were successful. Spirit saying, that job was taken care of, and it continues still. That's the channeled information that's coming through. So we're going to talk about that through this reading. And Spirit clearly wanted to just sort of take a moment to remind you, and look at that. This is one of my favorite cards. So right off the top, that is the Changer of Truth. We all know, those of us that follow astrology and tarot readings, etc., We know what the predictions were about coming into and then out of these portals. And Spirit says, coming out the other side, what was meant to happen did occur. And now we can use our energy to solidify the change that happened because of our intention. And that's why the Warrior of Skill, that sacred impulse, was with you last month. To acknowledge you, Spirit says. And so now in these moments going through September, and Spirit is saying on to the end of the year, we now have some deeper awareness of the truth of our being. And there's a great shift and change that we are going to continue to shepherd and to embody, so that the things that no longer serve humanity or us as individuals begin to fall away. And that's what this change is about. And you know, it's interesting, in the traditional tarot, this card would be aligned with the Tower card. Intense, shocking, lightning bolt of change. And if you look around the planet at all the things that are going on, certainly Pluto is helping us. There's a lot of upheaval. And people are now, you know, in another moment where raising their voices and their heart intentions. So Spirit wants to talk about that. Heart intention. And communicating from this place in order to be and to bring and solidify the change that is meant to happen. And there's a lot of thank you coming through to you from Spirit about being the special brand of warrior that you are, having communicated deep into the universe with the mind of God. And so those types of phrases are coming through again. So, you know, for those of you that are new to the channel, I'm just going to illustrate a little bit. This card indicates your energy in this moment as we go through this reading. So this is the intention, the light, the theme that Spirit is bringing to the reading. And this is you, sitting right underneath that. All of that intensity last month, all of that going home to Spirit, traveling deep out into the mind of the universe. You know, the phrase that's coming through, actually, now that I see this card, Spirit is talking about star children and star seed and all those things. You know, we've heard those terms before. And I will tell you honestly, you know, from an intellectual point of view, I understand that. Last month when I did your reading, now I really understand it. Emotionally and psychologically and spiritually. So again, Spirit's just pushing me to tell you, go watch that video. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. So, here in the middle, this is the woman of knowledge. And this woman has traveled far. She's come across a great distance. You see all the light? There's an enormous amount of light shining through because of your presence. And this woman in the illustration happens to be a Caucasian woman with blonde hair. What Spirit says is it has nothing to do with that. It's about creating an illustration for you about light. The light that now hovers about your head. And you know, it's interesting. As I prepared to do the reading, all kinds of little things kept getting in the way until the moment was right. And what's happening now is there's an amazing amount of light. It's late afternoon. The sun is beginning to come low in the sky. And there's an amazing amount of light streaming into the house from the windows. It's gotten very quiet in the meadow. Dragonflies are here buzzing around. There's a soft breeze. The sky looks like that, actually. And you know, I have some prisms and things hanging in the window, and the light is catching the rainbows all over the house. It's interesting. So, this beautiful woman of knowledge, this is the energy you have evolved into when you entered through the portal. Something was given to you. she obviously is also of the universe. She's here in the world, but she is from that mystical place. Those are elderflowers. Spirit wanted me to show you those. It's funny, Spirit says if you can find some, put them in a vase in your house. She's a healer. She is picking herbs and flowers for healing. And Spirit says it's about the healing of humanity. What she's doing actually is picking them literally. They're growing out of a gravestone. And they're growing up from the bones of what is buried there. It happens to be her brother. So Spirit has been talking a lot about the healing that we are going to begin to experience and create through our own heart chakra-led efforts, based on all the things that have come before, because of our knowing. Now, finally, we can harvest those events, many of them very sad, and bring healing to the world in which we live. And that's what she's doing. She's harvesting. Okay, so, and look, again, Spirit's talking about this journey that brought this enormous change, in which you traveled this distance out into the universe and back. And Spirit wants me to keep pointing to this. You went out last month, very clearly, you went out. And you have returned, and this is your purpose. And in those moments when you returned, actually Spirit's correcting me, in the moments of return, this will be your soul desire. While you were out traveling, and now in your human life, again, there are the elderflowers. Spirit is talking to me about the elderflowers. It's about healing. They're the triple deities. That is who you met with. Spirit says symbolically, when you traveled out, this is the place you went to in order to learn the art of healing through your psychic ability. The way in which your spiritual knowledge engages with your intellect is what Spirit is saying. So, this is a major arcana card. This is the first card on your human walk. It's the renewer of devotion. Isn't that gorgeous? This is the Gunstruck Cauldron. It's a real artifact. You can look it up on the internet. It was discovered in a bog. And again, look, sacred male energy. And Spirit wants me to show you the inside of the cauldron. I think there's really sort of a push to ask you to go look this up. There's a lot of sacred imagery here that would take too long for me to explain. But Spirit is talking a lot about the healing and the elderflowers. And the fact that you have been imbued with this type of energy now. And you'll have the ability to walk on both sides. And through your human walk, you will radiate this energy. And that is what the tools, in a sense, with which you perform this healing that you are going to be able to do going forward. And look, do you remember that? You were on a soul mission last month. Very clearly, that was right over the top of your reading. And here it is on your human walk this month. I'm sorry, I forgot to scroll out. So, in case this wasn't clear, I think I showed this well enough. That's the renewer of devotion. And sitting right next to it, just sort of like the words that were coming through, that was your journey. That's where you went. And you're going to continue to walk in the month of September. You're going to be able to continue to go through the portal. Back and forth, Spirit says, while you reside here on the earth, for a soul journey that continues. The messages that I'm getting as I do the readings, things that we experienced in the portal, experiencing ourselves as humans and as soul spirits, experiencing the inside of the portal is what Spirit is saying. The inner reality of the portal is this. And each of us had some experience there. And we continue through the month of September and through the end of the year to be able to access this experience in order to solidify it and bring the vibration here onto this plane of existence in a way that has not been possible before this moment. So let's see, look. Okay, so in order to reveal to us the art of a particular type of, there you go, manifestation. You see the beautiful jewel-encrusted barrel of water? That's about life energy, creation, manifesting, abundance, tranquility. This woman is a seer, and she had the sacred ability to be able to look into the future and understand sacred leadership and who would take up the mantle for leadership. She was the namer of kings, actually. And in this time, we are going to have a new vision about what leadership means. And we are going to be able to take up our work as sacred leadership, Spirit says, entities, and share that ability with each other. To see how this passion pours out of this beautiful vessel into a bowl. More is being revealed to us as the months go forward, and that's why Spirit's talking about through the end of the year. And then another shift is going to come. There is a process that has been at work in 2017. Most of us know that. Spirit says, don't think it's over just because we came through the portal. You know, we have a few more months left, and we're going to need them in order to solidify our new abilities and our new knowledge. And you clearly are very active in this way, still very deeply accessing and traveling back and forth. And that's the change that you're experiencing. Look how deep this is. I mean, last month was about the travel. Spirit says it was a travelogue about where you were going and the experience you were going to have coming through the portal. So let's see what the bridge card is. Look, oh, goodness gracious. Gemini, you give me a chill. Look at that. Speaking of portals, okay, look. Spirit says, I'll talk about it in a minute. Just look into the cards. I'm going to see if I can scroll in a little bit for you. Look at that. Spirit says, look at this line. You see? This is the change. You are here. You know, there's a phrase that comes through one of the runes about being in the world but not of the world. And those are the words that I'm hearing in the background. You may feel, you know, if you're not used to this kind of travel, I've grown used to it in my lifetime because things have happened to me over so many years. You may feel yourself greatly changed, and it may take you some time. Oh, that's what the message is about. It may take you some time to get comfortable in this energy inside your human body, to walk a little bit with one foot on each side of the veil, and you will develop. You see how this is under the changer? The revelation of art. You will develop the ability. If you feel a little out of balance or unmoored or unsure of what to do with whatever energy might be coming through you as you walk, Spirit says take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. You're going to learn to tolerate that. And it is that energy with which you will produce one piece of the tapestry that is being woven in order to change what is happening here. So, as the bridge card into your spirit journey, this is very powerful. Another major arcana card that is the imaginer of harmony. And sitting right next to the woman of knowledge and above the renewer of devotion, once again, there you go. Diving deep, Spirit says. You are still deep, and you may be feeling it. Spirit says if you are not aware, don't worry. Don't make it a task. Just breathe and be who you are and allow what comes. This is a sacred vessel. It can carry a soul wherever it wants to go. And Spirit says that's why it is here as the bridge card, because you are going to be traveling back and forth through the end of the year at minimum, Spirit says, through the phases of the moon. Because you went through the portal and you went so deep, you have access now. So, on the phases of the moon, be aware. You may have incredible dreams, you may have some astral travel, you may find yourself becoming very psychic or extremely intuitive. There's a continuum, I call it. Suddenly you just begin to know things. There's chatter about that. Spirit's chattering with me about the things that you are coming to know. And that's why the changer is here and the revelation of art. So, Spirit says, as if you were still in the portal, that is how you may feel. Particularly coming through the month of September. Spirit wants everyone to understand that wasn't just a moment and now it's over. It was a radical change. And you know what? The rune that came at the end of your reading last month exactly was about that. Radical disruption. Remember that? That was the outcome card. That's fascinating. And so yes, it has come. And so now it is time to just be in this place and continue those activities, Spirit says, while these things are revealed to you, slowly between now and the end of the year, in order to take up that which is meant to happen next year. All right? Things are being revealed. Your abilities are rising to the surface, Spirit says, in this way. It is a fertile moment. This is passionate female energy, life force. And she has it at her side as well. Okay. So, as these things are revealed, because clearly you are still on a soul journey, you are going to continue to travel back and forth. And, Spirit is talking to me about having remembered your set point as star children, entities of the universe, of the galaxy. And the way that feels, that's why these cards are like this. It's very extremely ethereal. And last month there was chatter about the stars and the galaxies, and to look. Spirit was asking you to look into the nebula. That message continues to come through. So let's see. Look at that. Okay. Wow. Gemini. There's, I don't know if you can hear the crickets. It's really interesting. It's like the heartbeat of the earth is just bounding out in the meadow. That's where you're going. Your devotion having been renewed, continuing, having come through the portal, continuing this soul journey, so that Spirit can reveal more to you about the art. It's interesting, of manifesting, which is where we started. Okay. And you will continue to cross back and forth, Spirit says, in order to solidify this change. And by so doing, of course, Spirit says it's no surprise, you are on a quest of skill. Look at those beautiful spirit animals. Redeveloping. Both across the veil, your soul is taking a leap. And there is healing happening. This is what Spirit's talking about, okay? So if you feel I'm trying to, there are some words coming through. I'm trying to sort of coalesce them because sometimes it's like a fire hose. All right, so you see that. Spirit's talking to me in the background about returning to the source. You are going to continue and deepen your journey. That's what that message about, it wasn't just a moment. This is continuing. And clearly, Spirit says you signed up for this, and the moment has arrived. So, here's part of the chatter that's coming through. If you're feeling uncomfortable with this, please do give yourself the gift of getting some advice, getting a reading, etc., so that Spirit can speak to you directly. And I'd be happy to help you with that. Look at that. So, sacred vision, eagle medicine, flying high above the world. And look how close that is perched, right at your head, as is the salmon. Clearly going across to continue your change and regestation as a spirit being. Look, there's the moon, there's owl, and Spirit's talking about the purity of intention. It's beautiful. Okay, let's see what else is happening here. Look, Gemini. Remember her? She was with you last month also. That is the guardian of the gateway. The High Priestess. She is the guardian of truth. That is the full name of the card. And look at the deity behind her. That is the Sacred Mother. Deep across the universe. Who stands, Spirit says, at the apex of creation. Helping souls along their journey, providing love and protection and accompaniment as you travel. So, what Spirit's talking in the background to me about is coming back and forth, as I've been saying, through the gateway. Spirit says, don't think you're done. Do you see that? Spirit wants me to show you that. Look at that. The sacred spiral of life and change and growth. Spirit says, illuminating your heart and throat chakras, because those are the tools that you will use going forward as your vision and your skills and the things you are destined to know become revealed to you, developing the art of existing here on this planet and walking together with the beings that are here in a very telepathic type of communication. So the information that's been coming out through the other readings has been about heart-centered communication and the ability to understand and utilize not only our intuition, but literally the feelings that come into our heart center and begin to utilize them as a form of communication. And I think that's what this is about. And Gemini, on some level, as deep as you are continuing to reside and travel back and forth in order to bring this change through the healing and the revelation of the arts of healing in the ways that are coming through, understand that you are being accompanied and you are doing very sacred work. This is really beautiful. All right, let's see what's here. Look. Okay. That is the king of art. This is someone who is very wise, very highly developed, very loving, compassionate, has the ability to travel back and forth. And Spirit's saying, look, standing at the gateway, not only the High Priestess and the Guardian of Truth, you were met and you continue to travel with the King of Art. There's that symbol again. You see that? Sacred vision. The ability to utilize the energy that came through these portals, both the Lion's Gate opening of the full moon and the eclipse of the sun, in order to look into the future, to be able to see what is about to arrive here and begin to unfold. So, you know, the thing that Spirit was saying about don't hesitate if you feel a little bit, if you're not used to this and you're really feeling the energy of it, absolutely go and get a reading from someone, whether it's me or not, in order to get some more information, because this is a general reading. But you are clearly staying very deep. And at the same time, you are it's not just about regestating. Okay, here's what's coming through. Thank you, Spirit. You are re-emerging through the quest that you're taking about these skills, the art that's being revealed to you. Last month, the Queen of Knowledge was here, weaving the strings of your destiny and the energy that you were experiencing and experimenting with, Spirit says. And through that incredibly deep soul journey out into the universe with your psyche and your consciousness, you have caused yourself to begin the next phase of your soul journey. And you know those leaves that are fluttering around, that does indicate the potential to feel overwhelmed. And I think that's why that message is coming through about, you know, don't think you have to go it alone. Spirit says don't white knuckle it. It's intense. Acknowledge the intensity of it if you're feeling that. And just reach out, because we are here for each other now. We all know. You are beginning your process of reemergence. And that is why the guardian of the gateway is here to meet you, the High Priestess, along with the King of Art, because of the revelation that's happening. So understand you are in a process of rebirth that has to do with not only your healing, but everyone on the planet. And you know, I appreciate, given my life path, and again, it's one of the things we're gonna talk together, I hope, on the live stream about this experience. And I've had this is kind of how my life has been. And I don't know if you guys know, I'm 60 years old. I'm almost 61. My birthday is next Tuesday. And one of the things I'm excited to show you is my white stripe. Since I started doing YouTube, all of a sudden, there's a beautiful white stripe in my hair. It's very cool. So, Spirit says, we're going to talk together about this. We've been on this journey, each of us in our own way. I'm a Virgo. You guys are air signs. This is so inspiring to me. I've had my own walk that has felt and looked like this over the course of my lifetime while I was working as a nurse and being a housewife and just doing, the typical American existence, I suppose. And yet there was something else going on. And that's what Spirit wants to speak with you about through these cards, and to reassure you and let you know that you are not traveling alone. There is always accompaniment while we go through this great shift and change. So let's see what's here. And look, oh my gosh. So, everything I already said. Look, another major arcana card. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Spirit says, back to the starting gate. Going deeper still. This was here last month. The rememberer of lore. the sacred mind of the universe. We remember ourselves, even though we are here on the earth, and we begin to send out the vibration of the story of our destiny. And you see how he's encircled in this beautiful pink energy? He has also come across, Spirit saying in the background, and he resides here as an instrument for healing and change and understanding. And sitting next to the changer of truth, I find that an intensely beautiful message. Gemini, I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. I would love it if you would share some things in the comment section about what the experience of the Spirit saying being in the portal. You are still having that experience. I'm going to pick from the bag of runes again. So clearly this idea of radical severance, an elemental power that Spirit was talking through the runes to you at the end of the reading last month, clearly that was your destiny, and it has unfolded, and it continues. So let's just see. Let's just ask Spirit one more thing. Okay, Spirit, please give us a little more guidance. You know, what's coming through is, there, in a certain way, there aren't any words. These are things that you will feel inside of you. As you gaze into these cards, you're going to recognize your experience. That's what Spirit's saying. All right. Give a little more information for Gemini. Having been the recipient of this messages and energy and knowing that has come through the portal far across the universe here to the earth, having been received by Gemini in a very particular way. Okay, there it is. Let's see. So for those of you that don't know, I always read right from the book about this. So, you know, let me just show this to you. Look. That's the rune of growth. Okay. Spirit says put it right there. Rebirth. Growth and rebirth. This is one of the cycle runes. Rakana represents a form of fertility that fosters growth both symbolically and actually. The growth may occur in affairs of the world, the relationship of the self to the self and to the divine. This is a rune that leads to blossoming and ripening. Rakana is concerned with the flow of beings into their new form. It's very interesting, isn't it? Whew, okay. Rakana's action is gentle, penetrating, and pervasive. What is called for here is to consider your issue with care and awareness. First, you must disperse your resistance and then accomplish the work. For this to happen, your will must be clear and controlled. Your motives must be correct. Any remaining dark corners should be cleansed. This must be carried out diligently and sometimes with expert help. Modesty, patience, fairness and generosity are called for. Once resistance is dispersed and rectification is carried out and seen to hold firm, then through steadfastness and right attitude, the blossoming can occur. And you know, I think so what Spirit's saying to me is this. Remember those elder blossoms? And this? Okay. Regrowth out of that which has passed away. And there are a lot of philosophical ways to describe what's happening in this scene. You are not alone. Your healing continues, and you are an instrument for that here on this earth. So Gemini, thank you. I'm going to let the camera run for a moment so you can gaze into the cards. I'll look forward to hearing from you and hopefully coming to you from one of the sacred sites in Ireland for my first live cast. Thanks everyone. Sending you my deepest love and respect and big, big hugs.